I've got a little Lou Holtz, I got a little Bo, and there's just a lot of Monte Kiffin, and that's me.
Monte Kiffin became North Carolina State's 28th head football coach on December 5th, 1979. He had never before been a head coach, but his credentials as an assistant were impeccable, having served in two of college football's most successful programs, Nebraska and Arkansas. As a varsity assistant, his worst record was 9-3. That first season at State, Kiffin was known more for the outrageous things he did off the field than for what his team did on the field. He rode a white horse as the band played the William Tell Overture. He jumped out of a helicopter at a pep rally before his coaching debut against William and Mary. And before the Carolina game, he playfully boxed with former heavyweight champion Joe Frazier. That season, the Pack was 6-5, and optimism was running high for 1981. The Pack got off to a 4-1 start that season, and the roar of State fans was positive. But then came the start of the second half against arch-rival Carolina. You remember, the Pack was up 10-0, and Kiffin chose to onside kick. It backfired, and right there, the momentum for State's season changed. The bottom fell out, 6 straight losses, a 4-7 record, and you could hear the boos and grumbling. Citing Kiffin's crazy off-the-field antics, a most often quote was, "We want a football coach, not a clown." Before this season, the rumor was Kiffin had to win 7 games or else, and that athletic director Willis Casey was adamantly opposed to him. He repeatedly denied this.
But no, and that's a good situation, is our athletic director Willis Casey's never said win X number of games, and you can't coach like that. I mean, I can't walk down the hall every step I take, you know, oh wow, if I don't do this right, or if we call this play, it might mean my career.
Again, State got off to a 4-1 start, but then consecutive losses to Carolina and Clemson, and you could hear the Wolves calling. An impressive victory over South Carolina was like a breath of fresh air for the beleaguered coach, but then came a 54-0 thumping at the hands of Penn State, and the hard questions came.
We're just taking it one day at a time, one game at a time, and you know, we're rolling good. Last Monday it was looking good, and this Monday not looking as good, but you got to keep going, got to keep that head up.
State closed out by beating Duke in what many thought might be a job saver, but the luster of that win quickly wore off a week later with a decisive 41-3 loss to Miami. State ended up 6-5, but was it enough? Kiffin told me the Sunday following that final game with Miami that he deserved another chance to coach what he termed the fine young players that he had recruited.
The big key is the fact that you have a chance to coach your first recruiting class, which will be our senior class next year, the people that we were actually into their homes, we made the decisions on, and we recruited. And then even with that class, our senior class is not our best class because that was right when we came in and got a late start that first year. But then our junior class next year, McIntosh, Evans, Miller, that class is an outstanding class. And then we even surpassed that class with our freshman class, which is probably one of the best classes ever at NC State.
Now Monte Kiffin won't get that chance. He'll leave Raleigh, certainly not the happy, vibrant man that rode in only 3 short years ago.